welcome back to Coffee and Vocal Creative. I'm Matthew.
I'm Jen.
I'm still wearing the same shirt. She isn't. So today we're going to have a look at some possible options for shooting a rock star. So Jen's just released her latest Norwegian black metal album. And we're going to look at a technique that I really like, which uses hard light reflectors and a slightly more edgy and, I guess, interesting camera angle to take some photos from a musician. So I'm shooting today on my Nikon D850 as always, and I'm still using my Sigma 24-70mm lens. Again, it's got a great range where I can capture an environment and then I can punch right down to portrait focal length. It's going to be really handy today because we're going to use the whole range of the lens. We're going to do some wide shots. We're going to do some shots where I set up like a wide field of view and then kind of push in, which will distort features. And it's not what you want when you're looking for something like last time, which was we want to give you the correct representation on your, or you're selling scooters or something.
Yes, scooters.
But today you're a heavy metal musician, and we can play around a little bit more with that. So that's the camera. Flash again. So we're going to be using a hard light reflector, and I've got in the hard light reflector 30-degree honeycomb grid, 7-inch silver reflector, flash, the 400-watt flash, which doesn't mean much. Let's give it a try. Alright, so I'm going to put the camera down for a second, and we're going to pose Jen and talk about why we put you where we're going to put you. So one of my favourite parts of this particular look, of using this hard light look, is that the shadows are going to be really crisp, and you'll see a really strong definition between the dark shadow and bright. So to really capitalize on that, I'm going to get you to go right up against our paper backdrop.
Yep.
And we won't get you sitting down straight away.
Okay.
But we'll just start here. The light. So if I bring this a little bit closer, it's going to be ever so slightly softer. So it's going to soften up the edge of the shadows a little bit. But because I've got this 30-degree grid on it, it will create a little bit of a vignette around you. And it'll look a little bit like a searchlight or like a stage light. We don't really want that because, sure, we're doing a musician shoot, but you're not on stage and we can see that. So it looks a bit cheesy. So I'm going to push the light back, which means that 30-degree spread will kind of spread a little bit wider. We will get a little bit of a dark vignette around it. We'll also make it a smaller light source because it's further away from you. And you can see here, if we both stand back here, the circle's a bit smaller. Yeah. If I move it forward, it gets a bit bigger, right?
Makes sense.
We'll get that nice cut-out shadow this way. I'm going to raise it up probably about 45 degrees above your eye line. So if your eye line's the horizon, we're looking for the light to about 45 degrees. And I'm going to get Jen to look through the grid and let me know if she can see the insides where the light bulb is, because that will tell us it's the right angle. So I'm going to lift that up now. So can you see inside there? That's pretty good. Awesome. Yeah. All right. Now thankfully, because we're using wireless transmitters, I don't actually have to go up there and change any of the controls. So that's good. We're going to use a light meter to set the light power. So I'm going to give that to Jen, and we're going to test how strong this light is. So my camera settings are going to be shutter speed of 1/200, which is my maximum sync speed with my Nikon D850. ISO 100 because we want to keep the noise floor down. And we're looking for an f-stop of about f8. So when we take a photo in a little bit, I'll be able to take a completely dark photo, black photo, by turning the light off, the flash off. And then when the flash is on, we have total control. So I'm going to give that to you. Yep. And you're going to press that top button, and I'm going to go to my camera, which is here. And don't look at the light, Jen, but I'm going to hit the test button. There we go. And what do we get?
7.1.
F7.1. Now that's fairly similar because we just done a photo shoot in a different style. I want a little bit of a punchy light, and I want that shadow to be strong. So I'm going to kick it up just a little bit so we can get to f8. So let's try that. Go again.
Yep.
Here we go. Here we get
8.0.
Excellent. All right. So we know that light is now set to what we need it to. We will do a little thing as we go, where I'm going to make the aperture even narrower. So we're going to go to f11, which is one stop down in power in light coming through the lens, which means we'll have to turn the light up one stop. that will make the contrast a bit more dramatic and might help us crisp up that shadow. So we might try that as well. But we can do our test shot now. Okay, so I'm going to do a test shot without the light, just to show everyone that all the light they see is coming from the flash. So I'll just do a headshot. Give us your worst expression ever. You know the drill. Look at that. Amazing. And we have a totally black photo. Black, perfect.
Yeah.
So turn the flash on. Now we're testing to see where the flash falls. So I'm going to widen out a little bit. I might actually go head to toe for this one. So full body shot. Good. And then we can have a look over here. We're tethered into capture one, and we can see where the light falls. So you can see that there's quite a bright side and a dark side because that grid really focuses that light in. Now, if you were doing a nice clean headshot, you would probably want to have this light on this nice 45-degree angle, get a little bit of shadow, a little bit of bright, like we did in the last video. It's cool. We don't want that. We want punchy, we want dramatic, and we want that shadow on the back wall to just be a little bit out from the side of Jen. So we're going to keep it at the same angle. And I'm going to move it a little bit more in front. Now, can you still see through that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. We're going to take a test at this one. We should see a dramatically different position of that light. So full body shot again, awesome, nice swag. That's a word, right? Good.
That is a word, for sure.
Okay, there we go. So there's that vignette that I talked about, and it's nice and punchy, and you can see the shadow, which on this side is on screen left, or Jen's right, is nice and crisp. What do we think?
Yeah.
Alright,
Looks good.
cool. Alright, so I'm going to cut a little bit of the sides out by pushing into 50mm on my lens, take a step forward myself, and we'll take some photos like this,
Yeah.
and then we'll swap out to a slightly different setting. Cool. Alright, so now we're going to get you down on the floor.
Okay.
So, do you want to safely get down on the floor?
Yes, sure.
Awesome. Alright, cool. Now, when you're down on the floor, make sure you give yourself a nice strong core so that you don't look like you're just like plonking down in front of the television.
Yep.
And I'm just going to lower the light down. It'll be about there. You can still see through.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, and we'll take a test shot. Just to make sure we know where the light is falling. I'm still at 50mm. There we go. Look at that. How did we go? Fantastic. So it seems to be a little bit brighter than before, but that's fine. It's still nice and edgy. I'm pretty happy with that. We're just going to really quickly test what I mentioned earlier. So I'm going to keep the light where it is, and I'm going to go down to f11 on my aperture. So that's going to lower the amount of light coming through my lens by 1 stop. I'm going to turn my light up 1 stop. And just don't look at it. I'm just going to make sure it's all connected. Good. I'm going to take the same shot we just took, as best I can with the angle. We should see a very slight difference in the contrast. Let's go. Okay. We saw nothing because the light failed. Let's try that again. All right, here we go. Straight at the camera. Nice. That's good. Cool, and there we go, so that's an f11. So I think we might keep that for this downward one. So thank you for joining us today. If you learned something or if you had fun watching us stumble around on the floor, give us a like, comment, don't forget to subscribe. Tell us something we might have missed or some other way that you could use this sort of silver reflector hard light look outside of a musician kind of artist shot. We'll leave Jen's socials down in the description below. Do you have anything to say?
I really like this look. I think it's super artsy. It's pretty cool. it's definitely different.
I'm sure it'd be a lot of fun to play with.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Maybe add some color.
Yeah.
I think we might do that one day in the future. Yeah,
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right, thanks for coming.
Bye.